Hey Credit Warriors, Credit Shifu here, and some changes are coming to the Marriott Bonvoy Awards program. In fact, we have known about a lot of these changes for some time, we just didn't know exactly when they are coming, but now Marriott has released that these changes are coming in on September the 14th, and the biggest one of them is the peak and off-peak pricing, okay, that will be coming in on the Marriott award chart. Okay, so they released their new award chart a while back, after they were merged with SPG. And back in March, some hotels, for example, some hotels from category 7 went up to category 8. Okay, the categories were kind of shifted around a bit. Some for the better, but most for the worse, I would say. And then, we've known about this off-peak and peak pricing because it's been shown on the award chart, but just, coming 2019. But now it's actually said that it is coming on September 14th. So we'll have a look at the chart, and like you see here, every hotel, every category of hotel has its standard rate, and then there would be the off-peak rate and the peak rate. So we'll use an example of the Ritz Carlton Grand Cayman. Did I tell you I went to Grand Cayman? Anyway, so the Ritz Carlton Grand Cayman, this is one of the hotels that unfortunately migrated up into the new category 8 that was introduced in March. Okay, so it used to be category 7, now it's category 8, the highest category. And so when I booked it, it was 60,000 Marriott points per night, and that would have been a standard redemption because there was no peak and off-peak back then. And now it's gone up to 85,000 Marriott points per night. So that's a big increase, and it's kind of a big jump from category 7 to 8. You look at the jump from category 6 to 7, it just increases by 10,000 points. You look at the jump from category 7 to 8, it increases by 25,000 points, okay, on the standard redemption. And now if you're going peak, it's 100,000 points a night, okay? And if you're going off peak, it's 70,000 points a night. Now, the only way you can get it down to anywhere near 60,000 is if you use a points saver award, and you can get it off peak for 65,000. And that brings me into what I'm talking about next, because peak and off-peak pricing has been introduced to Points Saver, okay? Points Savers. Now, if you don't know what that is, Marriott has this kind of, it's a little bit obscure, to be honest, because I'd never even heard of it before myself. And it's probably not really that usable by a lot of people. But if you're very flexible with your dates and with where you want to go, you could actually get some deals using Points Savers. Okay, let me explain what it is. So basically, Marriott sets up a list of hotels that will offer cheaper award redemptions, up to 33% cheaper, if you go on certain dates to those specific hotels. Okay, and if you want to find out the list of these hotels, you can go just search in Google Marriott Points Savers. Okay, and you'll come to this website. It looks like this. Okay, so make sure it is the correct website. And then you scroll down and you can actually click in here and you can see the list. Okay, so first of all, you've got US properties. The US properties tends to be longer. It's quite a long list. Okay, it's arranged by state. You can see California here and other states. Okay, quite a lot of, actually some quite nice properties on the list. And then we can also go worldwide. We can click down this list and you've got worldwide properties as well that are participating. And this list changes like every week or every month. Okay, so you can check back and just see if there's a hotel. And just one thing as well, you can see the dates that they're available with Points Savers Awards, okay? So if you find a hotel that you like from this list, you can then search it the normal way and you'll be able to get a Points Saver Award for a cheaper price, okay? And the difference that's coming in on September 14th is that Points Savers now also has the peak, off-peak, and standard pricing. So you can see Points Savers Award chart here, and you can see the reduced price rates. Now, Points Savers, whether the Ritz Carlton will participate in that, I'm not sure. But it is there if you want it. And if you have super flexible dates and you also have, you're willing to plan a vacation as to what Marriott will offer you, okay, you just want to go for a nice luxury experience rather than going to a specific place, this actually could be quite good for you. In addition, the next change is that award pricing, peak and off-peak and standard, will be coming in for the cash and points awards. Okay, so you can see the third award chart that I'm showing you today. This is the third and final award chart I'm going to show you. You can see peak, standard, and off-peak pricing on there. And you can see the cash amount is standard, set as standard for each category of hotel. That does not change, but the amount of points you need will change according to peak, off-peak, and standard. Now, how are peak and off-peak and standard redemptions worked out? Okay, I'm sure everyone is going to be wondering. Okay, now it's not that there is a set, set dates that would be peak. Okay, so it's not like Christmas is always going to be considered peak. In reality, though, Christmas probably will be considered peak, but it's worked out in a different way. So it's actually worked out by an algorithm, okay? It's not on a calendar. It's basically according to real-time information. So I'm guessing how the hotel is filling up, okay? Another sort of, I guess tourist trends or historical trends for that hotel maybe. But anyway, it's done by computer. It's done by a computer algorithm. So prices can actually change. Something could be advertised as standard redemption, and then a week or two later it could change to peak redemption. And you're going to see why this is going to be a problem in a second, okay? Now, individual hotels apparently have no control over this, so it's done centrally. Peak, off-peak, and standard will be balanced out across the entire portfolio across a 12-month period, okay? Not balanced out per hotel. So it could mean that some hotels are actually always going to be peak because they're just so popular, and then maybe some other more unpopular hotels that often you're going to be able to find off-peak pricing. That's kind of sad. I feel like it should have, be balanced out per hotel, because it does mean that possibly some hotels you'll never be able to find off-peak redemptions, okay? Grand Cayman could be one, Grand Cayman Ritz Carlton. Now it updates every month as well. So if you book, if you're looking at prices earlier in the month and then you come back again and look later, it may have changed. And this is going to affect something called points advance, okay? Now points advance basically is when you put a hold on a hotel room, even if you don't have, or you basically book the room, even if you don't have enough points in your account for that redemption. And then when you have got enough points, whether it's from a credit card, like a sign-up bonus, or it's from someone else transferring points to you from their account or something like that, once you have enough points, you can then book it. Now, because points redemptions are now affected by peak, off-peak, and standard pricing, what's going to happen is if you book a room and it's off-peak, okay, and you put a hold on that room, but you haven't paid the points yet to exchange for the award certificate, it's still going to be subject to the pricing. So if the pricing then changes to standard or even peak, when you come to actually pay for the room with points, okay, before you actually go on your trip, you have to pay the points so that you can get the award certificate. You will have to pay the amount on that day, okay, not on the day it's booked. So it could actually go up. Now, Marriott actually point out that it could go down.
Let me give you an example. If you book a points advance reservation when a hotel is offering a standard rate, but it changes to off-peak rate before you've earned enough points, you will only need to pay the off-peak rate. If it changes to peak, you'll need to make sure to have the required points in your account.
Well, they would point that out, wouldn't they? They'd be keen to point that out. But in reality, do you think it's going to go down or up? I think in practice, it's probably only going to go up because, maybe when you put the hold on the room, not many people booked, and as time goes on, more and more people book rooms in the hotel, and there's increased demand, and then they're like, oh, we better, the algorithm's like, oh, we better change it to peak pricing now, there's not many rooms left. So in reality, I'm guessing it'll probably go up rather than down. So it is a little bit of a shame, because if you've put a hold on a hotel room, you don't have a set amount of points anymore. It could range from, well, if you're booking category 8, it could be 70,000 to 100,000. Let's say you're staying 3 nights, the difference between off-peak and peak, that's going to be 90,000 points that extra points that you'd have to come up with. And if you, in the end, maybe you don't have enough, you might have to go to points and cash instead, so it's a little bit of a shame. That really devalues that function. Now, another thing that should be clarified as well is that the free night awards that you get on the Marriott credit cards will now also be affected by peak and off-peak pricing. So on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, for example, you get a 50,000 point free night award. That would be the previous price of a category 6, but if your category 6 goes up to peak, then you wouldn't be able to do it. The SPG card, the old SPG card, which is now the Marriott Bonvoy, the one with the modern art on it, is not available to new customers. The award on that is 35,000, but obviously if the 35,000 point tier went into peak pricing, then you wouldn't be able to use that certificate for that particular date. Okay, so it's kind of a dynamic pricing. The pricing will be changing. We still got to see. There may be advantages to it because it hasn't started yet, so we've got to see how it works out. It might not be as bad as we thought. Yeah, we'll keep you posted. There's another change as well, is that the 5th night free thing with award redemptions is now going to be called Stay for 5, Pay for 4. That's just a name change. I don't think that really affects how it works. They're just changing the name. Now, what's my opinion on all this, okay? I think that a lot of these changes are actually bad. Obviously, adding in the Category 8 has increased the price of the, high tier, high category hotel redemptions. Adding in peak and off-peak, we're going to have to see whether, this is good or bad. There may be some sweet spots. There may be some hotels that haven't changed tier, haven't changed category, and will regularly have off-peak pricing, so that would actually make it cheaper for people. But a lot of those category, those old Category 7 hotels are going up to Category 8, so even if they're off-peak, they're still going to be 10,000 points more expensive than the old standard rate if they had been Category 7, like the Ritz Carlton Grand Cayman. Marriott has released a load of videos of really smiley, happy people telling you about these changes as if they're really good, okay?
I'm here to tell you about new opportunities within the program to use your points for stays at our hotels around the world. When a hotel is less busy, you'll be able to redeem for fewer points when booking your award stay. If your dates aren't as flexible during certain times of year, you might have to redeem more points for your stay.
You got to be aware when companies do that, okay? Uber had a really, a habit of doing that when I worked for Uber as a driver a few years back. They would send you an email like, prices are going down in your area, okay? Rates are going down. Basically, we're going to pay you less. And then they would say, this is good news for you because there's going to be more demand, so you're going to earn more money. And you're like, oh my God, like, I'm going to have to work harder to earn the same or less money, and they're trying to paint it as if it's something good, okay? Uber had a really creepy way of doing that. I went to Six Flags a while back, and I was lining up for this roller coaster, El Toro, right? It's really good, one of my favorite ones there. And apparently it was going to rain. So this guy comes on the microphone, he says, okay, El Toro is closed. Thank you very much for waiting, everyone. El Toro is closed, in a really happy way. And everyone was just like, what? Like, no one believed that it would be closed. Why would he be saying it in such a happy way? So everyone just stood there waiting. No one believed him. And then someone else, picked up the mic and said, oh, actually, guys, like, what he's saying is true. It's going to close because of rain. We're really sorry. And only then did people believe him. So certain companies have this habit of training their staff to say everything in really happy ways, even when it's bad, even when the news is bad. So I think that there is kind of quite a lot of bad news in with this. It is a devaluation. But hey, Marriott still is one of the best chains. There's still a lot of value you can get from the program. There are a lot of ways to earn Marriott Bonvoy points. And one of those is the Marriott credit card. So guys, if you are interested in any of the Marriott credit cards, we will leave the links to a couple of them below. Feel free to check them out. One thing as well that I did notice today when I signed into my Marriott Bonvoy account is that if you have the Marriott, the old SPG card, the Modern Art one, they are offering an upgrade bonus to the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliance. Kind of similar to the Hilton series of credit cards. They give you upgrade bonuses as you move up the ladder. Well, Marriott is doing that. They were offering a 50,000 point bonus to upgrade from the old SPG card to the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant. Obviously, it is a higher annual fee with that card, but just letting you guys know if anyone is interested in doing that. As always, please leave your comments below, guys. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time with more credit card and travel hacking tips and tricks. Bye-bye.